Okay, so today we're diving into something huge, the World Health Organization's brand new guideline for preventing, diagnosing, and treating infertility. It's set to launch in 2025, and honestly, it's a total game changer. This is the first time we've had a comprehensive, evidence based global roadmap on this, and it's going to change care for millions. So, why does this matter so much? Well, let's just start with this number 17.8%. That's how many people in high-income countries will experience infertility in their lifetime. Globally, that works out to about 1 in every 6 people. Think about that. This isn't some rare condition. It's a fundamental part of the human experience. And this quote from the WHO's Director General, Dr. Tedros, just nails it. It really gets to the heart of what this is all about. It's not just about the medicine. It's about fairness, solid science, and making sure fertility care is part of health coverage for everyone. The goal? High-quality care for all, no matter where you live. All right, so here's our game plan for this explainer. First, we'll talk about infertility as a shared human experience. Then, we'll get into the new standard of care this guideline is setting. After that, we'll walk through the journey to diagnosis, check out the treatment options, and finally, we'll look ahead to the future of fertility care. First up, a common human experience. This is so important because it's about a major mindset shift. We have to stop seeing infertility as some kind of personal failing. It's not. It's a widespread public health issue that touches lives in every single corner of the globe. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. This slide just shatters a huge myth. Take a look at these numbers. You've got 17.8% in high-income countries and 16.5% in low- and middle-income countries. They're practically the same. This shows so powerfully that infertility is a global challenge. It doesn't care about borders or bank accounts. So just to make sure we're all on the same page, let's lock in the official definition from the WHO. Infertility is clinically defined as not being able to get pregnant after 12 months or more of regular unprotected sex. It's a clear medical definition based on time. Which brings us to our second section, a new standard of care. Now that we get the scale of the problem, let's dig into the solution, this incredible evidence-based roadmap from the WHO. You know, a guideline this important doesn't just appear out of thin air. The process to create it was incredibly rigorous. They brought together a diverse group of experts, used a system called GRADE to meticulously review all the science, drafted recommendations, had another external group review everything, and then finally published it. This whole process means you can really trust the advice in here. And it's not all just hard science, which is what I love. Check out this good practice statement. It's all about the human side of care. Actually listening to people, respecting their choices, and talking about the need for psychological and social support. It's a powerful reminder that we're treating a whole person, not just a medical condition. All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty. Section 3, the path to understanding. This is where the guideline really starts to clear up the confusion, starting with prevention and diagnosis. When it comes to prevention, the guideline really zooms in on 3 main things. First, making sure everyone trying for a baby knows the risks of untreated STIs. Second, giving real support to people who want to quit smoking. And third, offering practical, no-nonsense lifestyle advice on things like diet and staying active. For women, the diagnostic path is laid out like a smart, logical map. It all starts with a detailed medical history and an exam. That helps the doctor figure out a likely cause, which then leads to very specific targeted tests. Are you ovulating? Are your fallopian tubes open? Is there something going on with the uterus? It avoids that old scattergun approach, which saves time, money, and a lot of stress. And for men, the pathway is just as clear. It also starts with a history and an exam, and then moves on to a semen analysis. Okay, so you've got a diagnosis. What's next? That's what this section is all about, navigating the treatment options. This is where the guideline gets super specific with its recommendations. Let's take a real-world example. PCOS, or polycystic ovary syndrome, which is a super common reason for not ovulating regularly. After looking at all the evidence, the guidelines suggest an oral medication called letrozole as the first thing to try. Clomiphene citrate is there as a solid alternative if letrozole isn't an option. Just clear, simple guidance. And here's another recommendation that might surprise you. For women under 35 who have mild or moderate tubal disease, the guideline actually suggests surgery could be a better first step than jumping straight into IVF. It's all based on a really careful look at the evidence for that specific group of people. Of course, there's that big, nagging question that so many people face. What happens when you go through all the tests and everything comes back normal, but you're still not pregnant? This leads to one of the toughest diagnoses of all. And that diagnosis is unexplained infertility. The guideline gives us a really clear definition. It's what's diagnosed after that 12-month mark when all the tests have confirmed that ovulation is happening, the tubes are open, and the semen analysis is normal. It's what's left when you've ruled everything else out, and the guideline provides a whole separate treatment plan for it. Now, as we start to wrap up, it's so important to see that this guideline is about so much more than just medicine. So in our final section, let's look at what this means for the future of fertility care. This slide really shows you the bigger picture. Tackling infertility is absolutely central to basic human rights. We're talking about the right to health, about gender equality. It's a key part of universal health coverage. And all of that requires fair access and making sure people are protected from financial ruin just for trying to build a family. And you've got to remember, this isn't some report that's going to sit on a shelf and collect dust. No way. It's designed to be a living, breathing resource. After it gets out there in 2025, countries will start adapting and using it. And then, around 2030, the WHO is planning to update it with all the new science to keep it fresh. And honestly, one of the most brilliant things about this guideline is that it's upfront about what we don't know yet. It clearly points out the big gaps in our research. So it's not just a roadmap for doctors, it's a roadmap for scientists, telling them where to focus next to make care even better down the line. And that leaves us with this final powerful thought. For the very first time, we have a global, evidence-based plan for fertility care. The path forward has never been clearer. So the real question now is, how can we, as a global community, all unite to put this plan into action and finally answer those remaining questions for the millions of people who are still waiting?
Leading. Innovation. Fertility. Excellence. Life by Dr. Pat. Leading innovation in fertility excellence.